Hey guys, Grant here. I want to tell you all about my friends at Black Bear Inn and Suites of Gatlinburg who are making it possible to bring this episode to you. As you guys know, I grew up in East Tennessee, and there are two things that all East Tennesseans have in common. We all love the Vols, and we all love the Smoky Mountains. Since I've moved to Nashville, I've been unable to get my Smoky Mountain fix in, but thankfully, our friends at Black Bear Inn and Suites of downtown Gatlinburg have me covered. They are conveniently located at 1100 Parkway and are within walking distance of all the major attractions and best food that downtown Gatlinburg has to offer. To book your Smoky Mountain getaway today, visit blackbeargatlinburg.com or call 865 436 5656 or toll free at 1 800 933 0777. Welcome into this episode of the Volin' Out podcast. I am Grant Williams, and I've got a guest co-host with me today. Jordan Mountcastle is out on some much-needed vacation, but welcome in, friend of the show, Corey Swann. How you doing, bud?
You know, the daylight savings time messed with me a little bit, but it's a beautiful day here in East Tennessee, and we get a little extra sunshine. So
Can't complain, right?
yeah.
Man, it's the weather's it's a little bit chilly, but it's not as bad as it has been. And at least it's better than all that stupid rain that we got yesterday in East Tennessee when I was out there.
Yeah, that was brutal.
It was, man. Well, so a little bit of a backstory on myself and Corey. I got a chance to meet Corey the same way I met Jordan, playing video games with him. But me and Corey always had some fun debates when it came to Tennessee basketball. So when Jordan was like, "Hey, I'm on vacation this week," I'm like, "I know just the guy to call." So thank you for joining up and doing this with us. And also, guys, I do want to make one quick announcement before we dive into the content we've got for you all today. We are going to be doing a special bracket show on Monday that will be live on all social media pages. So make sure you guys check that out. It is going to be for the NCAA tournament. So that will be a week from today when this is released. Make sure you guys tune in for that. We're going to have 10 other people on with us, and Jordan will be back and joining me for that show right there. We will announce a time later this week, so just be on the lookout on the Twitter for that. But without further ado, Corey, let's dive into whatever happened yesterday for the Vols. Dalton's 40 wasn't enough. I mean, that's just really what it came down to. The Cats defeated the Vols 85-81.
It was. It seemed like Kentucky had the game in hand the entire time. I was surprised to see it that close at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it all came down to Dalton Connect, really just doing Dalton things, and Ziegler kind of tried to help, drive the boat right there. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. I mean, two Kentucky guys scored 27, like Reed Shepherd and Antonio Reeves. There's no reason those guys should be scoring 27 on a Tennessee defense.
They were hot, and they couldn't miss, especially Reed Shepherd. I think he hit 7 threes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's not going to happen all the time. It just so happened to happen against us.
Of course, right? Isn't that the way it always goes? Like somebody
time
has their best night against Tennessee, even though Tennessee's a better defensive team. But, it is what it is. Dalton becomes the second Vol to have a 40-point game in the past 34 seasons, with the other being Grant Williams against Vanderbilt in 2019. My biggest key to the game right here, honestly, and I'm not sure if this is the same for you or not, Swan, but Zakai getting in early foul trouble. He was only able to play 8 minutes in the first half, where he's normally playing, 35 to 40 minutes a game. And I think it really shows in what the overall score was for this basketball game.
He makes a big difference for our team. And I know that's not like breaking news, but he controls the tempo on offense. He carries a lot of weight emotionally for the team too. So not having him on the floor, especially you said he was on the floor for 8 minutes
in the first half. Yeah, he played. I think
half.
It was like 28 minutes the entire game.
Yeah, that's gonna make a big difference for us.
Yeah, well, and I've been on this show and I've complained so many times about the amount of minutes he's playing. I mean, anybody who's watching this knows that's what I always say. Well, this is what happens when Sakai doesn't play 35 plus a game. I mean, I'm going to stop complaining about it now because it just drives me crazy. Never going to mention it again. Diving into the full team stats that happened for both teams in this one. I mean, it was just an abysmal shooting day for Tennessee. 37.8% from the field versus Kentucky's 45.8. From three, Kentucky shot 51.7 versus Tennessee's 33.3%.
Yeah, that's really the difference in the game. when you look at it. I don't think there were some calls that didn't go our way and this and that and the other. And Reed Shepherd really, I think, is the big is probably the thing that people are talking about the most.
As they
But
should. I
that
mean, he's the best player in the game.
overall field goal percentage, we didn't take smart shots, especially in the first half.
No,
We
well, and one thing that drove me crazy on that too, it wasn't even just the first half, but it was also the second half. You run Dalton through 3 screens, you bunch everybody up on one end of the floor, and then it's like, okay, we know what Tennessee's going to do right here. That's what it came down to at the end of the day. We were so predictable.
Yeah, and they were ready for it. I feel like Kentucky might have been ready to avenge that loss that we handed them in Rupp a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think that one was kind of circled as a revenge game for the people north of the border, the coal miners, as I like to call them. But Kentucky, man, I mean, they shot just great from the free throw line, 16 of 18 for 89% from the line. Tennessee, 13 of 19, 68.4%. HYFT, man, hit your free throws. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I can't stand watching basketball where the easiest thing to do is not done. Like, you walk up there, you hit your free throws, you go back down, you go play defense. It's not hard.
Well, that's the quickest way to lose a big game right there, is not hitting your free throws.
It is. And you're going against your biggest rival. Sure, Tennessee had nothing to play for in that game other than some outlying factors, but you already had the 1 seed for Nashville locked up for next week. So I think that Tennessee played as hard as they could. But at the end of the day, did Tennessee really want the game? I'm not really sure,
Probably not. Ultimately, the game was meaningless, other than it being our arch nemesis.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of other things that were in play. Like, Rick could have had his 200th win at Tennessee in 9 years. Great stat right there. Would have been great to have that in front of the fans at home versus the fans in Nashville next week. But I'll be there either which way. So I guess it really doesn't matter to me. I'll be able to celebrate both of them. Diving into the assist, Tennessee won the assist battle 17-12. So that's good right there. Same with the steal battle, 9-5. Blocks,
This next one,
Kentucky won. Yeah.
this next one is it sticks out to me too. That was a difference maker with us. We couldn't finish.
Well, you
And not
couldn't.
on our own part. It was because I forget the guy's name, but they defended the rim really
They
well in
did.
that game.
And the thing on this too, Jonas Adu had 5 blocks in this game. Nobody else for Tennessee had a single block. Nobody. Like, that just drives me crazy right there when it comes to stuff like that. And then one thing on Jonas Adu I was able to find last night, Jonas now has 60 career blocks on the season, which ties him with Doug Roth for 5th most blocks in a single season in Tennessee history. So he was able to lock that up in the regular season without having to go into any postseason, which those numbers will still count. I mean, we could see Jonas, if this team goes as far as I've said they will, and I think that they will, he could be number 1 on the list by the time it's all said and done. I don't know what that exact number is, but the fact he was able to get 5 in one game and has 60 on the season is pretty impressive, if you ask me.
That's a lot of blocks. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know who Doug Roth is.
Yeah, he's some old guy. That's all I could find on that. Yeah, I don't even know if they had TVs back then. My dad may have not even watched him at that point, so there's no telling on that. Total turnovers, man. Kentucky had 16 total turnovers versus Tennessee 7, and Tennessee still found a way to lose the game.
Wow, that's mind blowing. That's
I don't
hard to
even
do.
understand. Yeah, I don't even understand. Like, sure, your points off the turnovers turned out to be almost the same, but how do you, like, if you turn the ball over 16 times, you're taking away 16 possessions from yourself. Let's just call it what it is. How do you mess up that bad and still win a game?
I'm actually now that I read that stat, I'm very impressed with us.
Yeah, I'm impressed of I don't know if I want to say the choking ability or whatever it is, but I'm just shocked when it does come to that one. Fast break points for Tennessee, 21-12. Points in the paint, Tennessee won that, 28-18. Fouls, not an egregious amount called in this game. I mean, there was still 36 whistles blown, but it wasn't as bad as it was against Auburn or as bad as it was against A&M. If we went from the game against South Carolina this past week where nothing was a foul, even though everything was a foul if you looked at it in real time, to where in this game, not as many whistles were blown. So I'm happy to see that. And we actually did have a really good officiating crew on this game. And the last stat that really stands out to me right here, technical fouls, 1-0 in favor of the Cats, courtesy of John Calipari.
Oh man, everybody in Knoxville's favorite basketball coach.
Yeah, well, like, okay, so I was thinking about this yesterday. Is there a guy that is more hated by Tennessee fans than John Calipari when it comes to basketball? You think about it. He coached at Memphis, and then now he's at Kentucky. How can you get more hated than that?
I really couldn't think of a way. Maybe if you coach at Tennessee and get the death penalty for the program, that's the only
Yeah.
other way.
I mean,
That's
well, hell, we also
that's
love
the
Bruce
next
Pearl.
logical step for Calipari.
Yeah, we all love Bruce Pearl, and he put us in the doldrums for 5 years with having a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe if
the
you coach at Florida, that'd be the only other way.
yeah, yeah. I think that the Bruce love has kind of died down. I think
It
that's over
has.
with.
I think a lot of it is still there, but I think a lot of the fan base has gotten to where they're like, okay, we're happy with what we've got now, which is good to see the fan
Yeah.
base turning around to that, because I was always the biggest advocate for that. You've always known that about me.
Yeah.
So diving into the box score for the Volunteers in this game, in 36 minutes, Jonas Adu went 4 of 11 from the field, 3 of 3 from the line, 8 boards, 1 steal, 5 blocks, 1 turnover, 11 points. I want to see more from him on this, but I can't really complain when the guy gets 11 points and 8 boards.
And 5 blocks. That's huge.
Yeah, the 5 blocks. I mean, nobody else on the team had a block. Like that's what I can't get over when it comes to that.
Yeah, that kind of thing's going to make a difference for us in the next 2 weeks.
I think so as well. And then over here to Mr. 40 points himself, Dalton Connect, DK3, 36 points, 14 of 29 from the field, 6 of 15 from 3, 6 of 9 from the line, 4 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 4 turnovers, 40 points. It's a career high, but it's in a loss. Does that 40 points do anything different to you in a loss? I don't think so, because it doesn't for me.
No. Obviously, when you see a guy with 40 points, you think you're going to win, right? That's
You should.
at least what in college, somebody with 40 points, you're typically on the winning end of the scoreboard. I don't know if it affects his player of the year status that we lost the game that he scored 40 in.
I don't think it would. And the reason why I say that is, if the guy's scoring 40 points and you've already locked up the SEC and literally nobody else on the entire team decides to show up other than Zakai and Jonas, I don't know how you can penalize Dalton for that per se. I think it may hurt him on the National Player of the Year thing, but with
Yeah,
SEC Player of the Year, oh, you're talking about an
that's where I was
NPAY.
going national. I think SEC Player of the Year is in the bag.
It should be. It should be. If it's not, I mean, there's going to be some emails I'm going to be sending tomorrow. They're going to be strongly worded to the Southeastern Conference. But
Shiano Sunday, that where's the
God.
headquarters? Is it in Atlanta?
It's Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Yeah, let's Shiano Sunday it. We're going to name it Connect Monday. We're going to be all just protesting this. We'll be like, not my SEC Player of the Year hashtag. Get it going on Twitter. Oh man, it'll be a fun place on Twitter tomorrow if that's the case.
It would be the most Tennessee thing ever if he wasn't. If somebody else got that award.
Yeah, well, like 2 coaches like Dennis Gates at Missouri and Bruce Pearl at Auburn, they both said they only vote for the best player on the best team. So if you win the league, you get the vote, which I think is complete and total bullshit. I've said it on here. I will say it anytime. You vote for the best player. I don't care if the best player plays for Missouri, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky. You vote for the best player in the conference for that award.
Either I don't have a stance on that.
No,
if they're on a winning team or not. But he's clearly the best player.
Oh well, I think he's the best player in the country. It's not even just in the SEC.
Agree.
And me and my dad were talking about it today before I left Knoxville. Dalton Connect is the best player in the country. Zach Edey, who most likely will win that award, is the most dominant player in the country. Very big difference between the best and the most dominant.
Yeah, you're talking about Who does that remind you of? Kobe and Shaq?
Yeah, I mean, that is
The
true.
better player and the more dominant player?
Yeah, and then look at what the Lakers did, and it chose to. I mean, it gave him 2 more rings. I mean, I'll take that any day right there. Shout out to Kobe. Me and Corey both love Kobe. That's been our guy. That's how we've been able to bond right there. But Dalton Connect, 40 points in a loss. I mean, you can't really say anything bad about Dalton. The only thing I'll say, almost too many threes. And then right towards the end of the game, where he had to run through 3 screens to be able to get open, he was still not taking the best shot at the time, but nobody else was willing to step up and take a shot.
More so than just how much offense he produces for us. I guess what I'm trying to say is the difference that he makes for us is how much offense he produces for us that we didn't have last year.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, we didn't have guys who would take these shots or could make them.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a guy, but he's 5'3".
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I'm 5'9", like legitimately 5'9". I'll pull out a measuring tape and measure myself on camera for you guys if you don't believe me. But I've met Zakai, and I am literally probably 3 inches taller than the kid still.
He's unbelievably small.
It's so crazy, but he's so damn good. Like
Yeah.
29 minutes, lowest total of the season for him. 6 of 15 from the field, 4 of 11 from 3, shot the ball too many times, but who else is going to take the shots? Nobody else is willing to. You have to have him step up and be able to do that. 1 of 2 from the line, 2 boards, 9 assists. Great number on the assist right there.
Yeah.
1 steal, 1 turnover, 2 fouls, 17 points.
So he didn't get another foul the rest of the game.
No. After he had those 2 where he had to go sit down, it was at like the 12-minute mark, I want to say, going in the first half, and he picked up that second foul, and I'm like, oh man, here we go. Santi's going to have to run the point, which I wish we would have seen more of that. Instead, they put in Freddie Dilion. They put in Jordan Gainey. It's like, come on, why are you not trusting the second best point guard on the team to run the offense?
Yeah, I see that point. I also kind of wonder, how often does your point guard foul out of a game?
It's not often, but
Why
with
not
how
I'd run the risk with the Zakai.
yeah,
If this game was more important, I
yeah,
suppose.
if you're trying to lock up a regular season SEC title, I think you run with Zakai a lot longer in this game, but you don't have to if you've got it already locked up like you did going into Saturday. I wish we would have seen Zakai play though. He didn't pick up another foul, kind of like the point you went on right there. So why not play him longer? That's just my 2 cents when it comes to that.
Do we
But
even have to talk about the next 2 guys?
Unfortunately, we at least need to talk about them. Man, I had so many hopes for this game that the 2 seniors who played 5 years at formerly known as Thompson Bowling Arena, now the Food City Center, would show up and show out for their last game in there. Josiah, I can't pick on you. I think you did okay. Santi, where the hell are you, man? 20 minutes, 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, no attempts from the line, didn't even get fouled. 2 boards, that's cool. 4 assists, that's cool. 1 steal, that's cool. 2 fouls, 0 points. Like, man, why did this guy even come back if this is what it's going to be?
It's like he doesn't want to shoot the ball. For one,
I'd be scared too if Dalton
thinks
connects
he's
on my
going to miss
team.
it.
I'd be scared. I'd be like, we can get an easy 3 points if I got number 3 out here. Maybe I shouldn't shoot it.
Both of these guys have bugged me this season.
Santi more so than Josiah, for me, at least.
Sure. The one question I have about Josiah Jordan James, why did he shoot that shot at the end of the game?
So we'll hear from Rick Barnes a little bit later, and that is part of what I put in there for that. But it's a shot he's taken. He's hit it a lot of times. It's just wasn't his night. Like how Jordan likes to say, it was just their night. Well, it just wasn't his night to shoot that shot, and he chose to still for some reason. Don't understand that. I mean, but he still got you 8 points, 10 boards.
It's what led up to it. Connect's not in the game, right? Which we did this in the South Carolina game where we took defense. Connect out to put Meshack in and play defense, which I don't get. Is there not a lineup that we can put out there that has both of those guys on the floor?
I would rather play Meshack than play anybody else with the exception of Ziegler, Connect, and Adu. I would take out one of the other two and I would find a way to do it. I would probably take out Santi, honestly, and put in Josiah and run with that 5.
Right. So my question is, we put Connect back in the game on that last possession. What was it? 21 seconds left.
Something like that.
Presumably, he's in there to shoot the ball. He's in there to tie this game up.
Yeah.
And we dribble. 11 seconds go by. We kick it to 30, and he shoots.
It was not a smart shot, but I understand why he took it, at least because it was the best look you had. And I feel comfortable with Josiah shooting, but at the same time, 206 from 3, 209 from the field. You got to learn it's not your night at the end of the day, and find a shot for 3 or find a shot for 5 and say, okay, I need to go to Zakai. I need to go to Dalton. That's what I've got to do right here.
That's really my only gripe with Jordan James. But
yeah, I mean, I can't pick on him too much. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about, I guess, 3 bench guys, and I'm just going to skim over them very, very quickly. Tobey Awaka in 11 minutes, no shots, 2 attempts from the line, hit 1 of them, 5 boards, 1 foul. Don't even know why he didn't shoot the ball. Don't know why he didn't do that. I wanted to see more of him and Jonas playing together. I think that Tennessee's best lineup is when Tobey's at the 4 and Jonas is at the 5. I've said it over and over again. And the fact that we didn't really get to see a lot of that yesterday was concerning to me, because you've got to be able to get some size and be able to keep them from being able to drive in. And Tobey's a good defender too. He's not the best perimeter defender, but he's still a good enough defender where I think you could utilize him with how the game was going yesterday.
I agree with that. I like that whole twin tower setup.
It's the best lineup we've got.
The 2 of them.
It's like not even a question. It's the best. It's where you get your most productivity on the floor.
And not many college teams have 2 bigs that they throw out there that can do what Awaka and Adu do.
Yeah, man, it's so crazy too. Like looking at Tobey, like he's only like 6'8". Like you would think that he
plays bigger than that.
Yeah. I think he's more of a natural power forward. And I think that that's probably what he'll move into next year if Adu chooses to come back to school, which I think that he's not going to be giving himself much of an option to not come back anymore at this point, which is good for us. I think it's great for us.
Yeah.
But being able to play those 2 guys together, have Tobey at the 4, go out and find another center, or maybe JP Estrella and Cade Phillips can step in and take that role. I don't know, but I would love to be able to see that. Jordan Gainey, 11 minutes, 1 of 2 from the field. His 1 bucket was a dunk, a breakaway dunk. Like
that guy. I admittedly have just started watching basketball recently. I don't watch basketball. Season doesn't start for me until after the Super Bowl.
Oh, it starts for me in November.
I don't watch any basketball, NBA, college, none of that. This guy, Jordan Gainey, we're real committed to him, and I've not seen him make a shot since in the past month that I've been watching the team.
He had like a really good stretch a month and a half ago, maybe. I want to say that, like at the LSU game, I think that he had like 18 or 20 points. He was a leading scorer that game. It was really good. But then he goes through these stretches where he's unplayable. His defense is horrible to begin with. Horrible defense. And if he's not giving you anything on the offensive end, why are you playing the kid?
Coach's kid, right?
I mean, that's the only reason why.
Isn't he the
Justin Gainey's son. Yeah. And it's like, okay, we see why you're playing, but I mean, why nepotism. Though? Why? Why can't you just go back to USC upstate? That's where I want him to go. I don't want him to be at Tennessee anymore. But it is what it is. We're stuck with him for another year until he graduates, unfortunately, because I think that if he's not back on the team, that means his dad is somewhere else, and we don't want to lose Justin at all. Great assistant coach for the team. Then the last guy, and the only bench guy that I think played well, Jemiah Meshack, 22 minutes, 1 of 3 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3. That 1 3 he had, I'm like, why are you shooting this? Jordan, I'm sure you're going to be watching this while you're on your vacation. Not the best 3-point shooter on the team. Give that a break. Put it to bed. It's not even a thing anymore. 3 rebounds for Shaq, 1 assist, 2 steals, 3 fouls, 2 points, but he puts so much more on the defensive end for you. That's where I think he plays his best.
Yeah, yeah. Solid. He puts in 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you you got to have him on the floor eh, that much or more. We're gonna see more than 22 minutes from him this week and next weekend.
You
I
have to.
guarantee it.
You have to. If not, Tennessee's not going to be able to win. He's that anchor on defense. Like when him and Sakai can go out there and play together on defense, it's going to be hard to find a team that can score on that because you've got Sakai, who's the head of the snake, and he can stop anything from going on. And then you got Shaq right there to go over and be able to play help. And then you got Jonas down low.
You know, it's really hard to find balance between offense and defense. Get finding five guys that have a good balance of offense and defense on this team.
Apparently so.
Is there any way we can talk the NCAA into moving to like 6-on-6?
Yeah, because we need one defensive guy.
Yeah.
Right. We need to add one defensive player in there so that way we can get that going at least.
Or do like how they used to do women's basketball back in the day that have three that just stayed on the defensive end, three that just stayed on the offensive end. And
Tennessee would be happy. Dalton Connect would be the happiest person in the world. Oh my God. And Meshack would be the other happiest person. Like he'd be down on one end, Dalton would be on the other, outlet pass to Dalton, corner three. There we go. And that's another Tennessee three. Like we would hear that over and over and over again. But kind of breaking it down one last time for everybody, Tennessee shot 37.8% from the field, 33.3% from three, and 68.4% from the line. Moving on to Kentucky, and there's only really two guys I'm going to talk about in this right here. Maybe three. Antonio Reeves, man, 38 minutes, 8 of 16 from the field, 3 of 5 from three, 8 of 9 from the line, 7 boards, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 foul, 27 points. Go have yourself a day, young man.
Yeah. Congratulations. You did it against us too in our house. Yeah.
That kid's a baller, man.
Is he the one that stepped out of bounds?
He is. And that was on the side that I sit on right there. And I am screaming and yelling and pointing. I'm like, my voice sounds horrible. I yelled way too much yesterday. I'm sure everybody loves that right now. But I'm like, that is right there. Like he stepped over. Like, I don't know how you don't call that other than Calipari brings his refs with him to Knoxville.
Maybe.
I think that might be a little bit of that right there. A couple of other guys I do want to touch on real quick. Reed Shepherd, man, 33 minutes, 9 of 14 from the field, 7 of 10 from three, Jesus. 2 of 2 from the line, 6 boards, 5 assists, 4 turnovers, 1 block for him. I don't know how he got a block. 27
off the
points.
Bench?
Yeah, off the bench, man.
Yeah.
That kid is so good. Have
yourself a game.
That kid is so good. And he's like just this little freshman from like London, Kentucky. And he's going to be playing on an NBA roster next year. And then the other guy that I think is my favorite freshman in the entire country is Rob Dillingham. He scored like 35 on Tennessee when we went up to Rupp up there and played them. Yeah. But he had 17 minutes, 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 2 from three, 4 of 5 from the line, ended his day with 11 points. You did your job against him. It's like Tennessee's plan was we're going to stop Dillingham at all costs. Well, where did that get you? You got 2 other guys with 27 each.
Well, like I said earlier, I think that Reed Shepherd, his game's not always going to happen like that.
No.
He's a good player, and like he's going to be a pro. 70% shooting threes.
It's not going to happen that way.
No.
Especially like I wish that we would have seen more Meshack guard him because he wouldn't have been hitting that many on at that point. Like he had just horrible matchups. Like Santiago Vescovi guarded him a lot. Zakai got stuck on him a lot. I mean, it was not what you wanted to see in this game. But once again, Kentucky did shoot 45.8% from the field, 51.7% from three, and 88.9% from the free throw line.
That's got to be their highest 3-point percentage for the season, right?
I feel like I
saw that yesterday on Twitter.
I think they had 57% against Alabama when they played. I will do some research on that when we run to break, and I will pull that, and I'll let everybody know. But I feel like they shot like 56, 57% against Alabama whenever they played like 2 weeks ago.
That's unreal.
Yeah, well, that game, there was, like, no defense. Kentucky scored, like, 130, and Alabama scored, like, 98. Like, there was no defense whatsoever in that game. Moving on to the leaders for the teams, Reeves and Shepard both led the Cats with 27 points. Dalton Connect led Tennessee with 40 points. Josiah Jordan-James led Tennessee in rebounds with 10, where Reeves led the Cats with 7, and Reed Shepard led the Cats with 5 assists to 4 turnovers, and Zakai Ziegler led Tennessee with 9 assists to 1 turnover.
Man, when we looking at these stats, we should have won this game.
You should have.
When
The
you look
better
at the
team
stat
did not
line, you're like,
win.
"Oh, yeah, we won. We won."
The better
No.
team didn't win. That's what it comes down to, because I still think Tennessee is a top 5 team in the country. I've had Tennessee as, like, my number 3 team in the country all year long. I'm probably going to stick right with that still. But, man, it's just basketball at the end of the day. You lose to teams you probably shouldn't lose to, and I'm not saying Kentucky's a bad team, but the better team obviously did not win this game yesterday at the Food City Center.
No, if Kentucky shoots 50% from 3, they're gonna cause some problems in the big dance.
They are. Man, if they shoot like they did yesterday, they're going to be playing the first weekend in April.
Yeah.
It's not even a question. But, man, I've got some press clippings of Rick Barnes right here. Let's dive in. Let's listen to that, and then we'll get our thoughts right after that.
Start off with Ben. Rick, it seemed like Reed Shepard was just kind of having one of those nights that basketball players tend to have sometimes, but a lot of open looks as well. Just kind of how did you assess the three-point defense?
Well, one, I said it before, they're the most explosive offensive team in the country, and we were getting beat off the ball too much. Middle ball screen, what they did, we thought would come, and, and they made the right play. They're good, and I don't want to take anything away from them. I thought, again, John's teams always get better this time of year, and they're gonna make shots. And I told you, even when you guard them, they make shots. But early in the game, they scored some off broken plays where I thought they were beating us to 50-50 balls. I told the guys after the game, I thought we were way too emotional at the start of the game. Didn't execute. Very impatient offensively, taking shots at where we could have got more quality shots, and that feeds into them. And you let them get a little separation, they get comfortable. They can start getting out and going with it. And I thought we really did a good job cutting the lead back there, because we weren't very good offensively in the first half. And I thought today's score was, honestly, I thought it'd be a higher scoring game than it was. I really did. I'd expect it to be pretty much what up there, because both teams are going to play fast. But we had too many shots that were not high quality shots, and it kept almost like we were just hoping we'd make one. But again, I'm really proud of these guys. They fought hard. They're regular season champions in the best league in the country, and disappointed. But like I told them, we'll learn from this game, because hope we're going to be in a lot more bigger games as the season goes on, and we can't let our emotion get the best of us.
We'll go Grant, Ryan, then over to Rob, and then Joe. You had your hand up. That's the next one.
I was going to ask, how do you control those emotions when you're entering the postseason?
Well, I mean, a lot of it had to do, we'd already wrapped up the regular season, and then you got seniors that are playing at home, and guys that wanted to, they want to play their hearts out, and they put too much pressure on themselves, thinking, hey, we got to get it done early, and knowing that, again, we have great respect for them and their program and what they do, but we were just too antsy, especially on the offensive end. I mean, we were just, first half defensively, but because of us playing faster, there's obviously more possessions there. But with that said, free throw line, we should be better, and I think Dalton's got to do a better job of getting his teammates involved when teams are really pressing up on him. But I also think his teammates have got to make some of those open shots for us. And we had looks, we did, but I just thought we just, again, and I don't, again, want to take anything away from Kentucky. I just thought we were way too emotional.
That last possession y'all had down 3 looked like Dalton fell down. Assuming y'all wanted to get the ball to him, and were you happy with the shot you got given that
Yeah, we had,
fell down?
you talking one Joe missed?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a wide open shot, and he's made that shot. So yeah, I mean, probably ended up being a better look than what we would have gotten, but didn't go down.
Rick, I'm sure you'd rather win every game, but are you a believer in sometimes guys learn more from a loss than they would have win in some situations? Does it have to be that way?
I'm really hoping this one we learn from it, because again, I told our guys, I said, if we do what we hope to do, we're going to be in games just like this. And we can't, when the game's over with, look back and say, well, one, we didn't execute the way we're capable of, and why. And knowing that, I mean, we know our team, and we were just way too emotional to start the game. And I said, you don't want to end it on that emotion. You just got to do what we've done, believe in what we've done. Am I surprised? Not really. I mean, we've had a brutal, 3 weeks here, and again, I compliment these guys, because what they did, not a lot of teams can do. And again, you're playing against a team that's playing great basketball too. Again, the most explosive offensive team in basketball. And with that said, do I think we can play better today? Yes. I don't think there's any question that we're a lot better than we played today. And really specifically on the defensive end. And like you said, too many wide open shots, broken plays where they made plays early in the game. I thought 3 loose balls that we should come up with, we didn't, and they scored on them.
Rick, as you move forward, how important is it to kind of get Santi going and get him a little more confidence in his shot?
He's got to do it. He's been here. I mean, I wish if I could, I would do it. I mean, he's going to have to do it. He's going to have to trust in himself and believe in how good a player he is, and he's going to have to do it. And again, if I could, I'd have him all, razor sharp every game. But the mental side of it, he's got to do it, and we need him to do it.
And that is what Rick Barnes had to say after the game on Saturday at the Food City Center versus the Cats. Corey, what's your takeaway from it all, man?
Well, he said one word like 5 times there. Emotional. I think that why is that? Is that because we were coming off of securing the SEC title? We're coming in emotional.
So. I feel like that's what it was. I also think senior day led to a lot when it comes to that as well. But at the same time, these guys have been here way too long to be emotional when it comes to stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So
I guess that makes sense too. I didn't even factor that in.
Yeah, I think senior day had a lot to do with it. I mean, so pregame, they talked about the SEC title, winning that. Then, the guys came out. There wasn't a single one of those guys that didn't have a tear in their eyes. Now, Dalton's wasn't very noticeable. Santi's wasn't very noticeable. Josiah, very noticeable that he was visibly upset that he was playing in his last game at the Food City Center. So I think that had a lot to do with it, because that's, one of the leaders of the team at the end of the day, so you don't expect him to kind of walk out there and do that. But at the same time, man, you got to roll with what you got.
Yeah. But outside of that, it was a lot of lip service. The offense wasn't patient. The defense didn't chase loose balls, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't really mean anything now.
No, it sure doesn't mean anything now at all. But, well, man, here on the Volin' Out podcast, we've got 2 different things we like to do. One of them is player of the game. The other is the milk carton. I've already sent you over some stuff. We've kind of collaborated on this stuff together. Player of the game, man, is it any question as to who the player of the game is in this? No. I think it's that man right there on our screen, Dalton Connect. Hard to go against the man when he had such a great effort, 40 points. Sure, it came in a loss, but here's another thing on Dalton as well. He has now scored 662 points this season. That puts him in 11th place all time in Tennessee basketball history for most points ever scored in a single season.
11th?
11th in a single season. But
right.
I think that we're going to see it get a lot higher here soon.
Yeah, well, hopefully he's got a lot more, at least 6 more games to play, right? At least 6.
Yeah, I think that's what it would be. That sounds about right. There's a little bit more basketball left for him still at the end of the day.
That's discounting 6 games would be the tournament, the big tournament.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a
plus whatever
maximum
we
of
do.
40 games you can play. So Tennessee has played 31. So if they play all the way to the conference championship on Sunday,
That's
and
3
then all
games.
the way. Yeah.
So he's
So it'd
got
be
9 games left.
9 games left in his career. Yeah.
If
So if that's a very big if, and
Yeah.
we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show as well, if Tennessee can get there or not. But here's the other thing: when it comes to the milk carton, Santi, you've lived on it. I can't do anything for you, bud. You're back on the Volin out milk carton, man. This is not a performance Tennessee needs from you if Tennessee's going to cut down nets.
You know, when you put milk carton in that email, I didn't know what you're talking about. Well,
Yeah.
you said least valuable player. I was like, great, but what's that got to do with milk cartons?
He's a milk
I get
carton
it
kid,
now.
man.
It's
He's
funny.
missing. He's gone
That's
missing.
humorous.
Yeah, you
I like
can't
that.
find him. So there's that. But man, let's run to break. Let's get a word from some of our sponsors, and then we'll be right back. And we have got so much more to jump into when it comes to what has happened with University of Tennessee sports over the past couple of days. So stay tuned, and we will be right back, guys.
If you're looking for the perfect Smoky Mountain vacation, Mountain Romance is your cozy romantic getaway. Starting at $129 per night, you get 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths, and this beautiful cabin will sleep up to 6 people. With an amazing mountain view, fire pit, pool table, and hot tub, this place has it all and is located within minutes of downtown Gatlinburg. To inquire, go to Airbnb and search for Mountain Romance or email bearslair2021@gmail.com.
Guys, if you all are anything like me and you have a hard time waking up in the morning until you get that caffeine in you, come give our friends at W a try. Each energy blend that they have created comes with no calories, no sugar, no fillers, and no artificial colors. So you go online, you go buy it, it comes to your house. It comes in a little container with powder in it. Scoop it out, drop it in your shaker, add water, shake it up, and you're good to go. It's that simple. Tastes amazing, no carbonation, no added sugars in it, so you don't get that sugar crash at the end of your energy buzz. Let me tell you guys, this stuff is amazing. My favorite flavor is Beach and Peach, which is a white mango peach. And oh boy, stuff is great. Let me just tell you. Go to w.gg on your web browser and type in promo code VOLINOUT for 10% off. VAWLINOUT for 10% off.
This next segment is brought to you by Three Kings of Cardboard, the go-to spot to upgrade your sports memorabilia collection. Check out their Facebook group and eBay at Three Kings of Cardboard. I have dealt with them personally and will not deal with anybody else. My favorite item from them is my Jalen Wright 1-of-1 Bowman U Superfractor that they have pulled me. Check out our friends at Three Kings of Cardboard today.
Man, Corey, there's been lots of good baseball played this weekend as well. Like, it seems like this team just cannot lose. We're going to dive into a couple scores real quick, just kind of tell you guys that. And then we've got a couple more things we need to talk about. But on Friday, the Volunteers fought off against the Fighting Illini from Illinois, got the dub 6-3 on that. Now, Corey, listen to this one. On Saturday, Tennessee played this one, and it went 24-1 as a final score.
Well, at least something went right for us on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, after the Lady
24
Vols and the
runs.
men, 24-1
That's
against Illinois. Like,
Yeah, they weren't playing Tennessee College of the Cumberlands or whatever.
They're not playing the Sisters of the Poor and the Blind.
Yeah.
Like, they're playing legitimate Big Ten baseball. Like, and they're hanging 24 on them, man.
That's pretty stout.
And this Billy Amick kid too, he is just as good as advertised. Like, whenever we sat down, so me and Jordan had Dustin Gregg on the show with us probably about a month ago, and we did a baseball preview, broke down the whole schedule, everything like that. Dustin told everybody Billy Amick is the guy to look for, and he has turned into it without any question on that. So shout out to Dustin Gregg from Second to None on that. And then the game that just cleared up right before we jumped on this recording right here, man. Tennessee got the dub once again on Sunday, 8-3. So now this team, man, I mean, they're on fire. They've won 15 straight, 14-0 at home, 2-1 on a neutral site, and they're getting ready for SEC play now. You've got one more tune-up game before that against Eastern Kentucky. Then starting on Friday, man, you head down to Tuscaloosa. So schedule doesn't get any easier from here moving on out. You're right into the thick of it.
Yeah, I mean, do we have the best baseball conference too?
Oh, but without question. SEC,
I mean,
like SEC is literally the gold standard and everything except for men's basketball, and it's like 1A and 1B. Like it's not even like it's like a debate on who's the best between the SEC and the Big 12. It's like, okay, who's 1A, who's 1B this year? Where everything else, Tennessee's got the gold, not Tennessee, the SEC has the gold standard in that.
I've already admitted that I don't watch basketball until mid-February. I've not even thought about baseball yet.
Oh
But I'm
man.
glad to hear that the boys are doing well and apparently smoking baseballs still.
Oh man. Whenever I'm in town for that week, we need to get to Lindsey Nelson and go to a game over there. Ballpark dogs, ballpark beers, and just soaking in the sun. I can't think of a better way to spend my Saturday.
Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I do know that we have a guy named Curly on our team.
Yeah, Kirby Cannell, the guy with the curly mustache.
No, we've got a guy named Curly. Do we have a Kirby too?
Yeah, there's Kirby Cannell. He's a pitcher.
Awesome.
Curly. I don't know who Curly would be.
His name's Dean Curly. He's a freshman.
Oh, Dean Curly. Okay.
Infielder. Yeah, that gave me a chuckle when I saw that. It made me think of like black and white baseball.
Don't you love it?
You know, nickel hot dogs, and I don't know. It made me laugh. But yeah, not watch baseball. I'm definitely down to go to a game.
We got to, man. We got to. Me, you, we'll get Jordan to go over there, go enjoy our time over there, because that's a fun place to go, man.
Yeah, I've not been since it was a good time to take a nap at that stadium.
Oh man. So I never went to a baseball game until it was the year after the team that was so good. No. It was the team that was so good was the first year I went. The one that was like the best baseball team in college
22.
baseball history. Yeah, 22. So 21 was the year Tony Vitello put them on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Then 22, I got out to a couple of games. Like my buddy George, his brother works for the university, was able to get some tickets. So we went to a couple of games. Me and my buddy Leif, we went. And then last year, me and Dad went to like one game. And Dad had never been to a baseball game. And he's damn near 70 and had never been to a Tennessee baseball game. And now he's like, I'm dying to go back. That was a lot of fun. Like, it's a great place to go watch ball now, and especially if the weather's good outside, man. I can't think of a better way to spend a weekend day, you know?
Yeah. That it seems like the environment of all the like, especially at least the major sports has turned around since Danny White's arrival.
Oh yeah. I mean, Tony Vitello, great baseball coach. He's done a lot to do that. And then Danny White also understands, hey, we've got to make this an event where people want to go to it and want to go bring their families. Like, oh, we can't miss the Tennessee game this weekend under any circumstance. Like, you got to have it as an attractive environment for people to want to go, is what I'm trying to say.
Even at Neyland, though.
Oh yeah, Neyland and
the
Thompson
experience
Bowling.
at Neyland is tenfold better than it was 10 years ago.
Well,
and it's not even. It's got a lot to do with our team being a lot better.
Ain't that the truth? And then also having Sterling hitting back on the sidelines doing his DJ stuff, I think helps out a lot. Where whenever Pruitt was there, they got rid of Sterling right away. They're like, we don't want Sterling the Pearl. We don't need him. And then they were like, okay, and we're just going to play Welcome to the Jungle for every third down because we can't think of a better song than that. Like, no more third down for what? No more anything. Just Welcome to the Jungle.
I'm a sucker for the light shows.
Oh, dude.
The light shows are crazy.
Were you at that Kentucky game in the 22 season where they had like the tiger stripes on the field? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was so much fun. That was like, I can go on and on about the 22 football season all day long.
Yeah. Same.
I just wonder if football season misses me as much as I miss it. Like, that's what I start thinking about. But we're still in the midst of my season right now. Like, I don't know. So like right after basketball season's over with, I'm really going to be missing something then. But at least I'm good right now, you know?
Yeah.
But man, speaking of more basketball,
great.
What is going on with the Lady Vols? Like, that was the worst coaching decision I have seen in a long time on Saturday against South Carolina to end the game.
Yeah, you know, we had an opportunity to be their first loss of the season. And you know, that game started out. They started out on a 13-0 run just at the beginning of the game, and I was like, well, all right, at least we showed up, at least we got dressed and all that, you know. And then the next thing I know, it's tied. I was like, what in the hell happened here? Anyway, yeah, up two with 3 seconds left.
Yeah.
And man, I could taste it. I was like, all right, and this is the Kentucky game's already gone final. I was like, you know what? I'll trade the Kentucky game for a win
For a
over.
dub over Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah. And no, we snatched defeat from the jaws of victory by leaving their center wide open. It was that girl, I forget her name, starts with a C. She's from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Her first career 3-pointer.
First attempted one too. Like, that's what was so crazy to me. But like, so here's my question I'm going to ask you on this. Do you think it's as bad of a coaching move as I do right there? Because I'm telling you right now, if I'm out there coaching ball and it's the end of the game, I don't care if they've got a player who's never attempted a 3-pointer and they probably can't shoot it. I'm putting a body on everybody.
I'm so confused as to how that happened that I don't even understand how that was a coaching move.
Yeah, well, I think that coaching told them to pull off of her and pull down to the basket to keep them from driving in and tying the game up.
I get not wanting to let up an easy shot to tie the game, but they had 1 second.
Yeah.
I kind of get that. I don't know. It's mind blowing.
It's a head scratcher.
It was really just jaw dropping. I've never been so moved by a women's college basketball game.
that is what I wanted out of you right there. Just knowing how moved you were by the Lady Vols. Like,
yeah,
here's my thing on it. Like, Kelly Harper's on the hot seat. We all know it. It's been the talk all year long. If my job is in jeopardy, I am telling those girls, body them up. Don't let anybody get an open look.
Yeah.
And so either Kelly doesn't care or her seat's not as hot as we thought it was.
Or she just sucks. And that was a bad call. That was a really bad call.
That's probably what it is more than anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that happened. You don't have to guard the inbounder, which I don't think we were.
I don't believe they were. So like when I looked at it, and so I was driving back from the arena to my parents' house and I walked in the house and the first thing mom had on the TV when me and dad walked in the door was the news and they were talking about that. And I was like, how do you lose like this? Like I had heard what the score was. I was driving, so I wasn't on my phone. Phone does not work inside of formerly known as the Thompson Bowling Arena, now the Food City Center. My phone does not work in there. AT&T, get your shit together and get that working for me in there, please. Or Danny White, get me some Wi-Fi so I can tweet out during the games. That's all I want to do. Like, it's not that hard. I don't think it should be, at least. But we see that, and I'm like, okay. So I look at it first thing, like just with my analytics cap on. You've got 3 players down in the paint is what it seems like. So they were expecting with like, what was it, like 2 seconds left on the clock or 3 seconds on the clock, something like that, for them to maybe drive, but there's not enough time to really get a good shot.
There was 1.1 on the rebound.
Oh, there was 1.1 on the
on the inbound.
I didn't really get to see it live. I just have seen the clips going on Twitter where everybody's like, what the hell is going on with this?
A lot of people have complained about us having a foul to give right there. We could have fouled them. Well, there's also a chance that they try to throw up a shot and we foul them and they get 3 free throws. Right?
That is true. That is very true. But if you foul them before they get the ball in bounds. Something like that.
I think you're playing with it too close at that point. I think it's too close to call there. So South Carolina was coming down we had missed a free throw maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl who got the rebound for South Carolina, she very clearly double dribbled. It was a worse missed call than the guy stepping out of bounds for Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty egregious, but not as egregious as what transpired on the defensive end for us.
Yeah, I mean, there's no telling what the Lady Vols will do, but I think it's probably pretty safe to say that Kelly's on her way out the door now.
Here's what I'll say about that particular thing. It's sad to see. It's, that was the premier program at Tennessee behind the football program. And at a certain point, it was probably over the football program.
Oh, I think it was over the football program for a long time.
it's sad to see that program in the state that it's in. But as far as Kelly Harper losing her job, they hung on to Holly Warlick for years.
Way too long.
After we knew she sucked.
Yeah.
And I could see that happening again. And then by the time her time ends, do we stick to the Pat Summit tree?
You can't.
Or do we branch out and actually try to hit a home run like South
You got to
Carolina
hit a
did?
home run. You've got to do that. Danny White will, I think.
LSU ponied up and got Kim Mulkey from Baylor.
That was the smartest decision LSU could have ever done right there.
Yeah. We got to do something like that.
You toss money at somebody that's proven. I mean, maybe Don Staley will want to come to Knoxville. I doubt it, but you throw the money at people like that, and then you're able to say, hey, I want to go play and coach at a historic program. I mean, hell, Rick almost went to UCLA a couple of years ago, if we all remember that. So I think it still holds weight.
What's Gino Auriemma doing?
Man, who knows what he's doing? I know they're not as good as they used to be, but
wouldn't that be something?
This is the most I've ever thought I would ever talk about women's basketball on a podcast. I just want to say that right there. Unless they're winning a national championship, I don't think I'll ever bring it back up on here again. But it was just such a bad play, such a bad move, such a great shot from the girl who's never taken that shot in her life.
I mean, kudos to her.
Oh, yeah. She got ice water in her veins, man. She's like D'Angelo Russell. I got ice water in my veins.
She really does. I'll say one. I can talk about women's basketball a little bit. Mostly, Caitlin Clark got me into it.
Dude, she's fun to watch. I'll say that.
She's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching a little bit of South Carolina and LSU today before we started doing this, and that was a good game.
So that game just went final, and so this just went over there. There was a brawl between the two teams in that game at the very end.
I knew
Bench is ejected after a shoving match started. All of this, like, I want to watch it, but I can't do it while I'm on camera. So literally the second I hit end record on this, I'm going to screen share this with you and we're going to watch it together because I think it's going to be hilarious.
I was watching it with my folks and I was like, man, this is chippy. It was great. It was great TV.
Was it?
They were, pulling hair, throwing elbows to the face and everything. This is just in the first half. I was like, I got to go do this thing, but I'm certain there's going to be a fight in this.
Man, I just hope my girl Haley Van Lith didn't get ejected. I love that girl. Oh my God. Oh my God. Haley Van Lith, if you see this, slide in the DMs, please. I will take you on the nicest dinner you've ever had in your life with whatever money I can find.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that, but I would
You'll
try
do
to do anything. I would do anything.
That's all.
I would do anything. So with that being said, man, there's been some good SEC hoops that were played on the men's side this week. Wild race, 5 teams fighting for those last 3 double buys going into Nashville this week. So let's talk some SEC hoops, man, that's on the men's side now. So Alabama goes into overtime against Arkansas. Final score on that one, 92-88. Sears, 22 points. Grant Nelson, 13 boards. Aaron Estrada, 7 assists. I really thought for a second, man, that Tennessee had broken that Alabama team. I really had thought it.
Seemed that way, didn't it?
It sure did. Like, I really thought that Tennessee had, but Alabama lives to fight another day. 16th ranked tied in their season, 21-10, 13-5 in conference play. Arkansas, who was the most surprising team of the SEC this year in the wrong kind of way of being surprising, 15-16 on the season. Lots of questions to answer over there. And our buddy of the show, Pigskin Pete, who works for Fansided, he came on here and told us Musselman will not be back at Arkansas next season. He doesn't know when it'll be official, where he'll be going, but he is tired of being there supposedly. So we'll see what good old Pigskin Peter's got right there for us when it comes to that. And we'll have to make sure we keep you guys updated on that. Next game right here. This is another overtime game, man. South Carolina and Mississippi State, 93-89 in the favor of the Gamecocks. Another one where I was like, oh, it's not looking too good for the higher rated team.
No, both of those games I thought, well, first of all, I want to say when South Carolina beat us earlier this year, I did not know they were good.
Nobody
I thought
did.
That was a bad loss. I was like, oh, we are, business as usual for Rick Barnes and the Vols. but no, South Carolina's a decent team. But this game yesterday, yeah, that
Very surprising in that one. I did not expect State to be able to hang with them. And then the most surprising game of the day to me, the Vanderbilt Commodores get their 4th conference win of the year against the Florida Gators, who are actually a really good team. I
Yeah.
don't understand how Vanderbilt won this game 79-89. Then Allen Lubin looks like he just had a hell of a day. 25 points, 11 boards. Good for Vandy.
Is Stackhouse still the guy out there?
He has been terminated, but he's coaching out till the end of the year.
Huh.
So
That sucks.
yeah,
That's gotta be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I think
good
Stack
win.
loves the kids where he's like, yeah, let's do the things to help the kids out. They came to play for me. Let's let them continue to do so. But going and winning games like this, it doesn't do anything except just make people mad and say, where the hell has this been all year?
Yeah.
That's all it does to you right there. Then the last game of the day that can help determine seeding, Auburn over Georgia. So Auburn wins 92-78. Great game for Auburn on this one. Auburn gets another double-digit win. Have not had a win all year that's not been by double digits still to this point. Crazy to think about. What a wild stat, ain't it? Like, that's crazy. So SEC standings are now finalized. Tennessee wins the conference. Great right there. Kentucky finishes in a tie for second place with Auburn, Alabama, and South Carolina. So 4-way tie for second place. Kentucky controls the second seed based off of tiebreakers. Auburn moves into the third place with the tiebreakers. Alabama goes into fourth place. So that's your teams with the double buys right there. South Carolina, 17th ranked. They're going to be the 5th seed. Florida's the 6th seed, so on and so on and so on. Is there anything that really stands out to you from these standings right here, Corey?
Yeah. How did they determine that tiebreaker?
So it was based off of common opponents, win-loss records. So with the highest, I think Kentucky got theirs because they had the better overall record on the season. Because they were 23-8, where Auburn was 24-7, Alabama 21-10, South Carolina 25-6. But then the conference record, I believe Alabama held the tiebreaker over Carolina with the games that they played earlier in the season.
Seems like a lot of work. I think
a ton.
I think we should go into in the future start doing a coin flip.
Man,
it'd
be a lot easier.
Style.
It'd be a lot easier for everybody.
We all meet at a truck stop somewhere in Alabama and flip a coin.
Let's just go to Birmingham, go do it. Or hell, they can flip a coin on Broadway over at Tootsie's before they walk over to the arena.
Yeah.
Do it right there. At least everybody's standing around watching them drinking beer. It'd be a fun time. So there's that. Now, it's the end of the season. I have kind of built something for you guys right here. So this is Grant's SEC awards on the year. You can pick and choose, whatever you like off this right here. Corey is your talking points. Player of the year, Dalton Knecht from Tennessee. Easy. I don't think anybody's going to have a problem with that. Coach of the year, Lamont Paris at South Carolina. Once again, I think that's really easy and nobody's going to have an issue with that. Pick to finish 14th in the conference and finishes with a tie of second place. Great job by the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I can't
pick
anything. I can't pick on him at all. Like looking at the schedule earlier in the year, I'm like, oh, South Carolina, easy game. Oh, and we got them twice. Hell yeah. And then I'm like, oh no, I don't want to play them a second time. Like after that first one, I was like, I don't like that. Freshman of the year, Rob Dillingham at Kentucky. Hard to not go with him for that award, but you could also go with Reed Shepherd for that. You could flip-flop those two, my 6th man of the year and my freshman of the year, because they both come off the bench and they both are freshmen.
Yeah, that is one of the things that makes them dangerous.
Very. Those kids can shoot the ball. They've got really good, just a great team around them too. If Kentucky can figure out how to play defense, watch out. That's the only thing I'm going to say. And it's not their defense was even really that good yesterday against Tennessee. Tennessee just didn't know what to do, is what it came down to. And then my last one, this is just me. This is probably Grant going GBO a little bit right here. Give Zakai Ziegler SEC Defensive Player of the Year from what he controls on the floor. Sure, the 5'9" guy, he's legitimately not going to get the award. It probably goes to somebody else. But I don't know anybody else who impacts the defensive end for their team more than he does.
Beats me. Beats me.
Yeah, he's the head of the snake. I mean, he's the one who really starts it for him. So that is my pick on that. Guys, in the comments, drop your picks for these awards as well. If you like mine, great. If you don't, tell me how much you hate it. I don't really care. But drop in your picks for these awards right here on the comments. I will read them out on air on the next episode that we do. So that is mine. And these are being presented to you guys on Sunday at 5 p.m. Central. So not even the awards aren't even out yet. So this is not, if this is the exact order it comes out in, great. Grant is just really good, and you should listen to my betting advice. So that's what I'll do on that right there. But now, Swan, we've got a bracket to talk about. And
Wonderful.
I am excited for this one right here.
I
So
love brackets.
I do too, man. This is
That's like-
literally my favorite time of the year.
That's one of my top 5 favorite words. Bracket.
Bracket, top
just
5
for-
favorite word.
Yeah, when you're talking, I like talk. It's bracket time.
It's
I
bracket
like doing
time.
brackets. Yeah, echo what you just said. This is my favorite week of the year.
Man. Oh, dude.
I'll probably be singing a different tune come football season. Looking forward to that. But as far as a full week of what we get to watch on TV, I love this week. I'm going to be watching the smallest conference tournament games.
I've already been watching them today.
Yeah.
There's been 2 more tickets punched today for the NCAA tournament.
Did Indiana State end up pulling that one out?
I did not see if that one had went final yet or not. I am
Not that it
unaware.
matters. I'll Google it real quick.
Yeah, you
Let's
do.
talk
You
about
hit
this.
the Google machine on that. So what we'll do on this one, Swan, while you're looking that up right there, we'll fill this out as we go. Like I said, I'm going to keep track of it. We will keep this right here, and who knows? Maybe one of us will fill out the perfect bracket on this. So how we'll do it is we'll just go game by game, be able to toss that information out at each other, and then we'll just kind of go that way. And then I've also got Jordan's bracket in here as well that he has filled out for everybody, so you guys can see his picks as well. So for game 1, Arkansas versus Vanderbilt. Give me Vanderbilt.
You're going Vandy.
I'm going Vandy.
Riding the emotional high of beating Florida.
Yeah, I think so. And also, it's in Nashville, man. Like, I will say this. There's no such thing as Vanderbilt fans. They don't exist. But
That's true.
everybody in Nashville wants to see them do just a tiny bit well, especially if you can knock off Arkansas, who's been a thorn in Tennessee's side for the past 5 years. Do it.
Mhm.
Vanderbilt, easy.
I would go Arkansas just based on that preseason ranking, number 14, at the fall of epic proportion.
I cannot believe it. They're picked to finish like 3rd or 4th in the conference.
Yeah, can't believe
So
it. But
I've got
there's a reason that they
Vandy.
were ranked 14th in the preseason poll in the nation.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. So you've got Arkansas moving on. Okay, so next game, Georgia and Missouri. These are your games on Wednesday. Georgia versus Missouri. You know what, man? I'm going for the bracket busters right here. Give me Mizzou to get their first conference win of the year.
They went winless in SEC play. through the
Not
regular
a
season.
single win.
That's hard to do. I mean, the SEC is really, really good, but it ain't that good.
Oh yeah.
It's not that good. Yeah, I don't think they're winning this game. Why
So
would they?
you're rolling with the dogs?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm putting you down for the dogs. My reasoning on Mizzou, Jordan and I have said it 500 times, Missouri's going to get somebody, and I'm just hoping they do at this point, just so I don't seem like a complete and total idiot. Like, that's the goal right there. So moving on to the next game, and this team who wins this game right here, session 1 on Thursday, March 14th, will go on and play the University of Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee lost their first game again. Well, the only game that they played against Mississippi State, and then beat LSU by 20, lost by like 5 to State. Tennessee will get a chance to avenge their loss to State. Give me the Bulldogs.
I'm with that one. Really just because I'd like to see that. I'd like to correct that fumble.
Yeah, that's the biggest reason is why I want that. But then also, I don't think they can beat Tennessee twice at the end of the day. So that's where I'm rolling at right there. I mean, maybe they could. Maybe Tennessee says, hell, we're just going to pack it in and we're just going to sit by and not have to worry about anything. We're going to rest up for the big tournament where it really matters, but I don't see that happening. So next game we both have different teams playing in this one. I have Vanderbilt playing in this, and you have Arkansas. Doesn't matter. Give me South Carolina.
Yeah.
So that is 2 for South Carolina. Okay. Next one right here, Texas A&M versus Ole Miss. Give me yours first.
I'll go A&M for the same reason I picked Arkansas.
Yeah.
They were
See, I'm going to go Ole Miss.
Preseason darlings.
I like Chris Beard at Ole Miss. That's the only reason why I'm going there. And then also shout out to our buddy Stephen Willis with Locked On Ole Miss. Great guy. Go check out his work. Pulling for you to get a dub there, bud. But Corey is going with A&M. Wow. Damn you. All right. Then we've got different teams playing in this one as well. I've got Missouri. You've got Georgia. I think we both have the same winner in this one.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Yeah. I've got Florida. You've got the Gators. All right. So getting into the quarterfinals now, this is where things get fun. Tennessee versus Mississippi State for both of us. Do you have the balls rolling?
We exact revenge, yes.
Same here. Same here. All right. So that is 2 for the Vols. Next, we have South Carolina versus Auburn. Both of us do. I think this one's pretty tough, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. They played earlier in the year. Auburn won by 40.
Yeah, I think they'll win this game too.
Okay, so you're going to roll with Auburn?
Yeah. I'd rather see South Carolina in the next round.
I'm taking South Carolina.
Are you?
I am. So, fun fact, our buddies with the Jungle Auburn podcast who were on with us probably about 2 weeks ago, Ben told me Auburn has only won a game in the tournament the one year they beat us for the championship game. That's the only time under Bruce they've won a game in the tournament. So if they're going to win it all. If they don't win, it's normal. They don't care.
So they're either getting bounced or winning the whole damn thing?
That's what it is for them every year.
Huh.
They get bounced in the first game or they win the whole thing.
Well, I'm going to bet on them winning the whole thing.
All right. So you got Auburn advancing against the Gamecocks. I've got the Gamecocks advancing. So next one here, and this is where we both have different answers. I have Ole Miss playing in this game against the Kentucky Wildcats. You have Texas A&M playing.
I'm not going to say what I call them.
Yeah, the coal miners. But anyways, sorry, Jay. Not trying to say anything bad to our buddy Jay from Religiously Kentucky Sports, but and I'm rolling with Jay's squad. I think the Cats are much better than either one of those teams.
Yeah, another team coming off of a big win. Winning in Knoxville was a big win.
Oh, it's a massive win. It's their biggest of the year.
They're hot right now, shooting the ball. I don't think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, give me the Cats on that one. Easy in that. And then in this next one, we both have the Gators in this one right here going up against the Crimson Tide. So literally, if this was a football game, Tennessee fans are standing outside of the stadium hoping it just opens up and swallows up both the teams because we can't stand either one of them. Man, I'm probably rolling with Alabama.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, give me Alabama.
All right. So we have got a lot of this figured out over here already. So you've got Alabama advancing. We both have Kentucky. I have South Carolina advancing. You have Auburn advancing. We both have Tennessee advancing. So to set the Final Four right here, we have got Tennessee versus South Carolina in mind. I'm going to go with Tennessee still. That's not a GBO pick right there. You've got Auburn versus Tennessee. Which way are you going?
Let me give you a little background here. I see myself as a realist as a Tennessee fan, but I definitely lean Negavol, and that's really just to prepare myself for the hurt.
Because we have battered Vol syndrome.
BVS, it's alive and well, and I'll give me Auburn. I said a second ago, take them to win it all. Right? They either win it all or don't win or lose. first game.
Yeah, Auburn going, man. Okay, I like it though. Like, so selfishly, everybody who listens to the show, you guys know I live here in Nashville. I'll be at the tournament all week next week. For my money's sake, I hope Tennessee is playing in the championship on Sunday, because if not, I'm going to be mad having to go over there and watch Auburn versus Kentucky or Alabama. Like, I don't want to see that. So,
oh Jesus, Auburn, Alabama in the championship would be.
God. That would actually be fun.
I wouldn't watch it.
Oh, I think that'd be
Here,
so much fun. Give me Kentucky and Alabama. Well, you can't have that since they're on the same side, but give me Kentucky and Auburn, man. At least there's Bruce to cheer for. Like, that's really about it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you've got Auburn advancing to the championship game. I've got Tennessee advancing to the championship game. Next game, and we both have the same one on this, Kentucky and Bama. Who are you rolling with?
Kentucky.
You know what, man? I'm gonna go with Kentucky too. As much as I don't want to, I think I kind of have to. I was gonna find a way to put Alabama in. I'm like, wait, they've lost. I mean, they lost 2 games in a row. Tennessee probably can't beat them a third team. So, third time, like, you're not going to be the same team 3 times. It just doesn't happen. So, give me Kentucky. I think Tennessee can avenge a loss. So, championship Sunday, man. One of the best days of the year, because then you get brackets the same day.
Yep.
Who's getting the automatic bid for the Southeastern Conference? Auburn or Kentucky?
I'm going Kentucky. I think they looked really good yesterday against us. I think, like I said, I think they're hot right now. This is their time of year. Rick said it in his presser. John's got his team rolling. This is his time of year.
So does it just go January, February, Kentucky?
Yeah. What was it? Izzo?
Yeah, it used to be Izzo.
Yeah. That's gone. That's over now.
Well, they may not even be making the tournament this year, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Like, they've always done
dead and gone. That's over with.
Yeah, and it was like 30 years.
You remember when the tournament used to be in Atlanta? It was Catlanta.
Oh, yeah, and then now they call it Catsville here in Nashville.
Yeah.
And, like, so, like, all the Tennessee fans who live here were like, no, it's not Catsville. It's the Big Orange Invitational. So that's what we're rolling with. And guess what? Tennessee wins the Big Orange Invitational over Kentucky with a final score. I'm going to give a final score in this one. Tennessee wins it, let's say 93-80.
All right. I love it. Hey, if Tennessee plays Kentucky on Sunday, I'll come out there and visit you.
Come on, man. We'll go over to Bridgestone. We'll have the best time on Broadway after or before, whichever one. So I've got Tennessee winning it all. You've got Kentucky winning it all. Give your score projection for Kentucky versus Auburn in the championship game.
High scoring affair.
Very.
95-87.
Okay. 95-87. And guess what? Now it's on video and audio, so you can't back out of it now either. So,
great.
Guys, here's been Jordan's bracket right here. He has got, he's got a lot going on. So he's got Arkansas winning the first game, Missouri getting a win. So Jordan went with me on that. He's got LSU beating Mississippi State. He has got South Carolina beating Arkansas, Texas A&M beating Ole Miss, Florida beating Missouri, for a Final Four of Tennessee. Well, no, I misread that. So he's got Tennessee versus LSU, Tennessee moving on. Auburn versus South Carolina moving on. Kentucky, Texas A&M, Kentucky moving on. Florida, Alabama, Florida moving on. For a Final Four of Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida. He's got the Volunteers winning that one and Kentucky winning that one. Vols versus Cats, 87-84 final score.
I see that Jordan's hate for Alabama bleeds through into basketball as well.
Everything, man. We had a guy on from the Crimson Crossover Network with us a couple weeks ago to help us preview that game, and he's like, "I'm ready to talk my shit. I'm ready to talk my shit." Like I've never seen somebody so fired up for something. So
he pulls at the chain.
He sure does. But guys, that has been your brackets for the Nashville tournament that are coming up. So we are going to be taking a break from recording next week. I'm going to enjoy the tournament while Jordan's on his vacation. then we will be jumping right back into it on Monday next week for our selection show. Everybody's going to jump on, fill out brackets. There's going to be a lot of names on that you guys know that have been on the show with us previously. So make sure you guys do that. But before we close it out, Corey, I got to play Start Bench Cut with you, I feel like.
Cool.
So let's run with some Start Bench Cut. Let me get my numbers, my questions pulled up right here. So everything, I mean, this is just anything. Lots of Tennessee stuff, but one in particular I think is just going to drive you crazy, which I just really wanted to do to you right here, bud. So which alternate football helmet is the best that Tennessee has? Start Bench Cut, Dark Mode, Smoky Gray, or those orange ones that were used in that South Carolina game that you went to back in 22?
Oh, start bench cut alternate football helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Are these the Nike Smoky Grays or the Adidas?
Oh, of course.
Adidas didn't do Smoky Gray helmets, did they?
They just did the jersey.
Yeah. Okay. Smoky Gray helmets are cut.
What?
Yeah, those are cut.
You don't like the Smoky Gray helmet?
No.
Oh my God. I'm going to drug test you after this is over with.
No, I don't. I have a problem with a lot with the football jerseys. They're much better with Nike than they were with Adidas.
Agreed.
But have you heard the rumor that we're switching to Jordan?
I've heard some stuff like that. I'd be okay with it, but it's not going to change anything. You just get different shoes.
I hope it changes the font, the number font.
You don't like the number
jersey.
font?
I hate it.
I love
Can't
it.
stand
I
it.
love it.
Absolutely can't stand it.
Oh, see, I like that number 11 waving bye-bye to an Alabama defender while he's going to go score a touchdown. Like, I just love how that looks right there.
That's different. That's a different day in a different universe.
That is. So you're cutting the Smoky Grays.
I'm going to cut the Smoky Gray. I love my mountains, East Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I love my Smoky Mountains, but yeah, cut that helmet. And then bench the orange one, start dark mode.
So I'm going to start the Smoky Gray. I'm going to bench the dark mode. And those orange ones, I don't know what it was about those helmets.
Got to cut them.
Cut them. They're ugly. Hinton tore his ACL in it. I'm going to blame it on that helmet. Cut that helmet. I never want to see the damn thing again in my life. So, go ahead.
Do you think we will see it again?
I doubt it. I don't think you can.
You think that game was so bad that it's gone forever?
You were the one who was there at the game. I mean, you remember how bad it was.
I'll be honest. No, I don't.
I would have needed to not remember that one either.
I was so toasted for that game. I didn't know we lost until Sunday.
I remember you were like messaging the group chat we're in like during that game, and you're like, "This sucks." Like over and over. Like it was about like the only thing you would say. Like, oh man, I need to go find screenshots and send that to you. Like,
I had a great time. I really just couldn't understand what I was looking at on the field. Just South Carolina, it was like ping pong.
That was like that game that we went to in Nashville that same year where me and my friend met up with you at that bar and I got ridiculous. Yeah. I literally don't even know what I watched for an hour that we were there to watch football. Like I was so sick. It was cold. It was rainy. I just wanted to go be in my bed. Like that's all I could think about. And like, I don't know. We killed them. That's all I remember. I really don't remember that game.
Same kind of weather in South Carolina minus the rain. It was cold. I didn't know it was cold.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
It was not a good period in my life.
Yeah, that's a rough one right there.
Live to tell the tale.
That's all that matters. Hey, you can say you were at the orange helmet football game. You can always say that where I can't.
The first and the last, apparently.
I hope it's the last. Yeah, I've got a feeling we'll be seeing it again, though. I really do.
Now that we talk about it, I kind of want to change my answers, but I'll stick with them.
Okay.
Stick with it. Either way, it's going to be start dark mode.
Dark mode, man. I mean, you can't. It's hard. But you're wanting to bench that helmet now for that. Jordan wants to start that helmet every single time I ask anybody that question. He loves the orange helmet. So
does he?
He does, dude. I've never seen anybody who loves it.
Guy.
I didn't either. I would have never guessed that. So next one, man. Favorite uniform on campus? Start bench cut, football dark mode, basketball cream with a script, or baseball cream?
Start bench
I know
cut?
that's a hard one. Start bench cut.
Yeah, this one's tough. All right. I'm going to – damn.
You think about it every single time. Like there's a
Yeah.
different way you can think about it. Like when you start to say something, you're like, no, that's not it.
I don't want to do it, but I'll cut baseball just because it's baseball. Sorry. America's pastime. I get
You're
it.
cutting the best one on campus.
Is it better than the basketball one?
Oh, I think it's the best jersey on campus by far.
I'm starting dark mode football jerseys again
Yeah.
and benching the cream script basketball
I'm going to
jerseys.
start the baseball, bench the basketball, and cut the dark mode, but I love all three of them. Like,
Yeah.
I'll say this. There's not a university in the SEC that has better uniforms across the board than Tennessee does.
No. I mean, we've
Like,
got the best color scheme.
I was
Look
gonna
at
say,
us right now.
It's on 151C, bro. Like, oh, that's the wrong side. My mirror's it's mirrored, so I can't see that right away. But all right, man. Most likely outcome for Tennessee hoops: Final Four, Sweet 16, or does early exit Rick return?
Starting the early exit.
Oh,
Benching the Sweet 16. No. Wait. I'm benching Final Four, cutting Sweet 16.
I'm gonna start the Final Four. I think it can happen. Fingers crossed. I really think it can. I said it all year long. I'm not going back on it now. I'm sticking with my guns. Final Four. Bench the early exit, cut Sweet 16 because I don't care about the Sweet 16 anymore.
Yeah. It's whatever. It's a ho-hum season for this,
Yeah.
if we go to the Sweet 16. I have a bet on us to win it all.
Oh, how much money are you going to make?
2 weeks now. 1,300.
Oh, I mean, hey, that's something though.
Some walking around money.
Yeah, that's some good Nashville money to come out here and hang out with me and Michael.
Yeah.
So, all right, best basketball coach of all time at the University of Tennessee. So a little bit of a backstory on this, real quick. How I met Corey.
I knew this was going to come up.
This one, and then there's another one for you later, and the last start bench cut. So this one, and then the last one. How I met Corey was we were in a group chat, and Tennessee had just got beat by, I think it was by Auburn in the SEC tournament in Nashville.
2018,
and you were like,
I want to say.
we go back to Bruce. We go back to Bruce. We don't care about Rick. And I'm defending Rick. We went back and forth pretty heatedly for
days.
Yeah, for like a week. And then you literally waited till Tennessee lost to Purdue on that bullshit call. And then you pop back in the chat. And then I just turned my phone off. I was like, I can't deal with this today. Cannot deal with it. So start bench cut, best hoops coach of all time at Tennessee. Rick, Bruce, Ray Mears.
Well, we can go ahead and cut Ray Mears, right?
Yeah, I think that's the obvious cut. But there's nobody else you can add on the list.
Even though he probably is the best, right?
I don't know.
He's got the most wins.
Yeah, well, he was here for
the most
forever
wins
in a
of the three.
day.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, I said it earlier. The Bruce Pearl love is kind of over.
Oh, so you're gonna
we'll bench Bruce and start Rick.
Okay, so you got the same answer as me. If I would have asked you this question 5 years ago, there's a completely different answer coming out of Swann.
I would have cut Rick.
Yeah, I know you would have. It's hard not to start Rick in this. I mean, you look at it, 199 wins over the course of 9 years, SEC tournament title, 2 SEC regular season titles, one of them outright, one of them shared. He's doing things nobody else has done. So it's kind of easy on that. Now, here's the last one right here. And I think that this one right here might make you just want to leave the studio early. I'm not really sure. Start bench cut these rappers, these white rappers.
Oh, wow.
Mac Miller, Eminem, NF.
Cut NF.
Okay.
Bench Mac, start M.
Start Mac 7 days a week, twice on Sundays, and it happens to be on Sundays.
I know what you're about to piss me off.
Cut it. Let's bench NF. Let's cut Eminem just because he's not my cup of tea right there.
NF doesn't belong on that squad.
Who else would you
like
put up
5
there?
better white rappers.
Give me one.
Paul Wall.
Sure, he's the bench. Anybody but Eminem. Just to give you and my sister hell, because like my sister loves Eminem so much.
Yeah, I'm a stan.
I know you are. I'm a Mac guy, though. You guys all know that about me. I'm a Mac guy.
I love Mac. I like Mac a lot.
Literally my favorite music artist of all time, probably. Like, it's hard for me to pick anybody else because I've listened to him like from like whenever I was in high school. Like, cause he was just like 2 years older than me. So I was like a junior in high school when he dropped his first album, listening to it then all the way till he died. And like his stuff like changed as he got older. So that's always the start for me.
I didn't really listen to Mac Miller until after he passed,
Oh,
which
man.
I feel terrible about it.
His shows were literally the best things I've ever seen. Like with my own two eyes being in person for stuff like that, you can't put a price on that.
You can definitely hear his music grow from first album to what's the last one called with 2009
Circles.
Swimming, or well, yeah,
Well, that
Circles was the posthumous album.
Yeah, Swimming was
which
the
is
last
great.
one.
I love that album. That album stays in my rotation.
Okay.
Circles.
So since you're a Mac guy, start bench cut these Mac albums. Swimming, Circles, Good AM.
Oh, those are his three best. Those are
my three favorites.
I love Circles so much. Probably starting that.
Yeah.
I'll bench Good AM and cut Swimming.
Oh,
There's some
so
tracks on
hard.
Swimming that I love that are just elite.
I will say
Overall,
all three
I
of
like-
those albums for me, I can't skip a single song on any of them. I can't. Like, I love all three of those albums. Start Good AM. I think that is literally
Good
the
AM's
best
tough.
album that's ever been made. I'm gonna
Okay.
bench Swimming just because, like, my favorite songs off Swimming, I like so much more than my favorite songs off Circles. But Circles is the best posthumous album I've ever heard.
Yeah. That album Circles came out at a time in my life that I think it would have meant the most to me.
It was a really hard time in my life when that album came out as well, and that album meant more to me coming out the week it did than I could have ever imagined an album could mean to somebody. But I'm going with like the nostalgia factor, like 2015 Grant with Good AM, dude. I was rolling around in that TSX that I had, working at Target, listening to that every single day over there. Like, I don't know, just good times. Like, it's hard to pass up on that. And then Swimming, man, like, I don't know. I can't cut either one of them. I can't cut Swimming or Circles, but if I have to, I have to cut Circles.
It's on Good AM where he talk. I think it's on Good AM. I can't remember the name of the track, but he's like talking about his dealer mixing his drugs. He's like, "Don't mix it with that. I
don't want to join the 27
club." Yeah, I was like,
what
I heard that not a few years after he passed, and I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh, I remember that.
He spoke it into existence. What the hell?
That was the first Facebook status I made after he died. It was like, oh, he didn't join the 27 club, and nobody knew what I was talking about. And like, I had to go pull that song back up and do that. But man, Swann, this has been fun. We can sit here and talk about Mac Miller all day, but Vol Nation probably doesn't want to hear that, I would say. So it's always been fun. Swann, what are you working on right now?
Mostly just my job.
Okay.
No, we do a podcast that's it's no Volling Out, but it's pretty good. We're kind of struggling to find our identity at the moment. Up at Noon, I did it for about a year with Jordan and Dustin, who you've mentioned already, and now I'm doing it with Russell, who was actually on Volling Out before. And we're just kind of trying to find what we want to talk about, what we want to do with the show. It's called Up at Noon. Right now, it's only on Spotify. Hoping to get that a little bigger moving forward. But we do want to talk about things like Mac Miller.
Hey, I will come on and talk
Mac
Miller with you for an hour and a half any day. You just tell me when.
Awesome.
You tell me when. Guys, like, rate, and subscribe. Up at Noon on Spotify. That was actually the first show I ever jumped on. So kind of a good turnaround to have Corey jump on this and be able to break this one down with me right here. But like I said, guys, Jordan and myself will be taking a break this week from doing game breakdowns for the tournament. There's just not enough time in the day to be able to break that down, get it published to you guys, get back out, watch the game, then do it again. Just can't do it, guys. Sorry on that. But we will be back breaking down the full tournament and doing a bracket show on Monday that will be live on all social medias. Make sure you guys check that out. But as always, go Vols.
Go Vols.